everyone, my name is Chloe and welcome to the start of another vlog. So I've just kind of been doing these randomly and I really have been loving it. So I have been really good the past probably 6 months about staying off Netgalley. If you have not heard of Netgalley, it is a website that anybody can go to and you can request ARCs or advanced copies of books, and you can either do them ebook or audiobook. They've just started audiobooks in the past year probably. And so one day I got on there and like, it is such a slippery slope. Like you get on there and it's like, oh, that looks good. That looks good. That looks good. So I got a bunch of approvals just this last week. So I decided to do a Netgalley vlog. So the first book that I started is The Younger Wife, I think, by Sally Hepworth. So Sally Hepworth, I personally like her. She writes domestic thrillers. And I think I've liked everything I've read from her. They're not like going to be the best things ever, but they're pretty darn good. So this one I just started, so I don't know much, and thrillers are kind of hard to talk about anyway, but this man is marrying a woman that's younger than his kids. Would you guys be shocked to know that we're at grocery pickup? So I just, the guy like came out of nowhere. The doors didn't even open. We're at Sprouts and they have these like massive garage doors that normally open, but I don't know where he came from, but he came. So anyway, I don't have that much more to say about the book, except he's marrying a woman who is younger than his daughters. And I don't think his wife is not dead. She has, I can't remember what she has, if it was like a debilitating stroke or something, where she's no longer mentally present. And so he's got 2 daughters that are very different in their reactions to things. And so I think it's just going to be an interesting dynamic. The woman that he's marrying, we get her perspective as well as the daughters. And I don't really know who's going to be the bad guy here. If it's going to be one of the daughters or the new wife. I don't really know. So I'm intrigued. Just started though. So I will let you guys know. And I'm also not sure. I think it comes out the end of March. So the point of this is I have no information for you, but I will later. So thanks for watching and we'll check in later. Hey everyone. Okay, so I have finished The Younger Wife by Sally Hepworth. And first of all, I want to say that like there is an author's note in the back, like the acknowledgements, that I thought were so interesting, because there is a part of this book that is a mysterious hot water bottle that has like $100,000 in it. And that was actually like a real story from her life, which I thought was interesting. And I also liked that she's just very humble, it seems like, you know, she's like, I know some of my books have not been the best, which I really like them all, but and I really liked that. I normally don't read the acknowledgements and I don't even know why I did this time, but I really enjoyed it. But so the book, it is a thriller, I guess. So the book is told, it opens, I think, with a scene at a wedding. And it's the man marrying this much younger wife. And it's all of a sudden a crime scene. And we don't know what's going on. Is somebody dead? Is it just a drama thing? Like, what's going on? Who did what? Like, we don't know. And throughout the book, there are scenes from the wedding interspersed. But the majority of the story is told in the past. Like, the courtship of this man and his younger wife. Before they get married. And he is a heart surgeon and he's got some secrets, and he's got 2 daughters, and he's dating this woman who is younger than either of his daughters is. And his wife, he's still married. His wife has dementia, like pretty bad, where she doesn't know who people are. She is living in a care facility, just very unaware. But if you have ever been around people with dementia, there's like moments of lucidity where you're like, does she know what she's talking about? And if so, like, do I need to investigate this? So that's part of it. Like, there's a lot of unreliable narrators, because I wouldn't say this is a thriller in the fact that there's like twists and turns, or that there's really even something you're trying to figure out. It's more of just like, again, a kind of domestic drama where it's like, who is the bad, or like who's good and who's bad, not who's the bad guy, because there isn't a bad guy, but like, is there a bad guy? Are we all just crazy? Like, what's going on? And I really enjoy these books. It's kind of slower paced. like I said, kind of a domestic drama where it's like you're just really getting to know these family dynamics. The main characters are the two daughters, the guy, his younger wife, and his wife with dementia. There's also some secrets about the dad guy that come out that introduce a couple other little characters. But overall, I really enjoyed this book. I haven't written my review yet, but I'd probably give it like a 3.5 or 4 stars because it entertained me. It didn't like wow me. I don't know if it's something I'll remember forever, but I liked it. There are definitely, so one of the daughters has a past that involves abuse. That's all I'll say. And everybody has supposedly like turned a blind eye to it for a long time. And that like is probably realistic in a lot of situations because she chose not to share and nobody was paying enough attention, I guess. But like, then one person just all of a sudden is like, oh, well, of course this probably happened to you. And that I thought was a little bit strange. And I also did not like, so she uses food as a coping mechanism and very much, she's aware of that. Like her job is to be a baker, but her body, as she is like gaining weight, because of the stress and things, like because of the emotional eating, the stress eating, and not having a healthy outlet to like vent her feelings, her body is almost like sexualized as it gets curvier and bigger and that kind of stuff. And I really didn't like I just didn't think any of that commentary was necessary because I'm not like, she's probably, I had a hard time visualizing her, but she's a beautiful woman, and her being curvy seemingly just adds to her appeal, which I think is fine. But in light of the abuse that we're talking about and knowing that like eating and food is her only source of like healing, it just came off kind of weird to me. Maybe I'm being overly nitpicky about it, but that would be my biggest complaint about the book. Overall, I thought it was a good domestic drama. So now I'm reading The Next Thing You Know by Jessica Strawser, I think. And this one's interesting. I like when I was clicking on Netgalley, I think I read the blurb, but I didn't remember at all what it was about. And so I went in completely blind. And this is about an end-of-life doula. So she helps people transition from like when they have terminal illnesses or something. She helps them kind of transition from life to death. And this guy, I think his name's Miles, maybe, he's young, he's in his 30s or something, he's a musician, and he's got something going on with his hand, and so or his arm or something, and so he can't play his music. And he goes to this company that is end-of-life doulas, and he's like, hey, I need to hire you guys for myself. And so one woman is like, okay, we've got just this one gal who deals with young people. And so they start a professional relationship to help him with the transition. And I don't want to say a whole lot more than that because I'm not sure, I'm not even halfway through, so it probably wouldn't be a huge spoiler, but there's more to the story that he's very closed off, and like their purpose is just to be kind of comfort and to help people with comfort and like just like logistical stuff and like to be their advocate. They don't require like medical proof, or they don't require like communication with doctors. They don't, like, they're just there to be kind of a companion. And so we don't know a whole lot about what's going on with him. And there's definitely a lot he's not telling people. So it's really interesting so far. I don't know even what genre I would call this. It's like maybe kind of romancy because there's kind of a spark between him and his doula. Maybe kind of thrillery because it's not thrillery. I don't know what genre this is. I'll have to look and see what other people have categorized it as, but so far so good. I'm really liking it, and I'm really trying to figure out like what was going on inside Miles's head. And yeah. So, and this book is also told in like then and now perspective kind of, but it's really easy to keep track of, and it's mostly like then kind of, I don't know. So I just made that way more confusing than it was, but we are now, the girls and Jeremy are in Walgreens because, you guys, we have 3 Walgreens within 3 miles of our house. Like, they're very close to us. And I have tried to get pictures developed at all 3, and all 3 have screwed them up. And so I do scrapbooks for the girls, and I use 4x4 photos. And so yesterday, Jeremy, God bless him, went and got the pictures for me. They couldn't find them for like ever, and I guess they'd fallen behind something, I don't know. And then he brings them home, and they didn't cut any of them. So they're 4x6s with 2 inches of white space. And then like 5 or 6 of them are just blank. And so I guess they just didn't print those. I don't know. So he and the girls are inside trying to figure out the picture situation, and I am waiting out here, and then we're going to do grocery pickup. It is like a balmy 14 degrees. We got like 5 inches of snow this week, and then tomorrow it's going to be 65. So how is the Midwest for you? Yeah. So that's kind of what we're doing today. Saturday, no real plans. Just kind of being lazy and waiting for the better weather tomorrow. So that's our plan. Hope you're having a great day, and we'll talk to you after I finish the next thing you know. Hey everyone, so it's a few days later, I think, and we are just sitting outside. The girls are playing basketball, and it is just a beautiful day. So we have had like snow, and then warm, and then snow, and then warm, and then I think the end of this week it's supposed to rain. So we're just enjoying time outside. But I finished The Next Thing You Know by Jessica Strawser. And I think I was saying Miles is the guy's name in the clip before, but it's actually Mason. And this book is very reminiscent of Me Before You. And there's something really big and major in the whole plot that it doesn't tell you on the back. So I really feel like I can't even say that much about this book, except it's about a death doula and this young guy, 30s probably, that comes to her and says he's dying and he needs her services. The two of them become friends, which then kind of maybe turns to more. There's a little bit of a spark. But this is a very sweet, clean romance, if you can even call it that. It's definitely... So there is an investigation going on throughout this book that I don't like. Mason? I can't remember his name for the life of me. Mason. He is a pretty famous musician. And so there's more investigation into his story than there would be the average person. I think that's true. But there is some stuff going on that different people are accused of different things that I just really had a hard time buying into that would even happen. Our police system and stuff is so underfunded and understaffed, depending on where you live, I guess. I don't know. That I feel like they don't give time to the cases that actually matter, let alone ones that are a far reach. But it's also a really corrupt system, so I don't know. And I don't mean anything political by that. That's just what I was thinking as I was reading it. So, yeah, I liked the book. I thought it was a little far-fetched. There was definitely some pacing issues in the middle. It felt very repetitive, and it's told both in then and now perspectives. But it's actually mostly now when this investigation is going on. And like I said, because I didn't completely buy into the investigation, I don't know that this was the best book for me. It was more I really love how unique it was. I've never read anything about a death doula. And like I said, it is similar to Me Before You and kind of in that companionship element. But I did think this was a unique read. So if that sounds interesting to you, I would say definitely pick it up. If it doesn't, and or you hated Me Before You, maybe don't pick it up. I did like what it had to say about life and what it means to be living, and kind of second chances and all of that. I really liked all that. The ending was really, really convenient and wrapped up really nicely, I guess, but almost in a unsatisfying way. So that's my thoughts on that. Maybe 3.5 stars. Then I read Life's Messy, Live Happy. You don't have to be happy to be content, or something like that. Or things don't have to be great to be content. I can't remember what it is, but I will have a picture up. By Wakeman, I think is her name. Annie just got a little Tykes lawnmower out, and it sounds like it needs some oil. But this book is a nonfiction, kind of self-helpy book. And I don't know why I requested this book, because first of all, nonfiction, I always like to, if I'm going to listen to nonfiction, I want to have the physical book next to me, just so I can make notes or like kind of see the big concepts and see how things are like laid out. I really like that. And obviously that's not going to happen with an ARC. And so I don't know why I did that, but I think this is one of those examples, where this is an audiobook. And this is one of those examples where I don't think the author should narrate her own book. Because, so Sai is a former therapist of some sort, I believe. And this is her story about, I mean, she had a lot of hard times and how she like had remained positive throughout it. And at the beginning, I was like buying into it. There were some things where she like would ask herself 3 questions. She would say, what do I know for sure? Like when she was getting, I hope that's not as loud as it is here. Hold on. Okay, so she has stopped mowing right next to me. So so in the beginning, she had asked herself, like when she was going in these thought spirals or whatever, she would say, what do I know for sure? And she would like try to get herself to like mentally state the facts that she knows, not her opinions about the situation, but the facts. What can I do to help? And then what would great look like? And I really felt like those 3 questions are really great questions for me to ask myself at times. But then like this book got so hokey and cheesy, and like I almost feel like it devalued mental health in a way that it's like, just think yourself happy. Holy moly, you guys. Between Annie's mowing and then they're getting new gutters across the street. I don't know why I chose. Oh, and now a kid's riding his motorbike down the street. So, anyway, I'll wrap this up quickly so you don't have to hear all the background noises. But I felt like it got super cheesy. By the end, I really don't like this lady. I think if she would have done something different, had somebody else audio like narrate, and just like it was very holier than thou. It's not a Christian book, but it was very like, well, I can do it, so why can't you? You know, and kind of like made it seem like you can just think yourself out of like poor mental health, and I don't think that's the case. I also felt like it got really cheesy, and like there's like a long part where it's like a letter to her son that I'm like, wait, what does this have to do with anything? And I just like by the end did not care at all. If I would have had a physical copy, I think maybe I would have gotten a little bit more out of it. But by the end, she just kind of lost all credibility because it was so hokey and cheesy and so self-help guru and so like, I don't know. She's speaking from like a really big place of privilege now. She's been through some stuff, and so it's also like, maybe let's acknowledge the rose-colored glasses you could have. I don't really know. I just didn't like this book at all. Maybe 2.5 stars. I don't know. So that's the end of my Netgalley vlog. Let me know if you are looking forward to any of these books. They all come out in March, I believe, so not a long wait for any of them. And if you're going to pick them up, let me know what you think, and we'll talk to you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.